Silence. A total darkness in which the outlines of the leaves were barely visible. Even the moonlight could not penetrate the dense foliage. Roman stood still, listening to the forest world around him. What to do now, he did not know. After long pondering, our hero wandered into the unknown, hoping to get to the shore. But what is there? He did not know that either, because he went there because he did not want to stay in the forest. It was difficult to walk, fatigue was taking its toll, because he had run that night. Walking through the forest, Roma constantly stumbled over the lying stones and branches, picked up knots with his feet, and sometimes met them with his face. It was unpleasant. What could he do? One had to go, after all. In the distance sometimes heard an old woman's laughter, which he did not pay any attention, he did not care, and sometimes a child's crying or children's laughter was heard, which threw him in a shiver, which was really uncomfortable, eerie. During his long wanderings, Roman saw a light. He stopped, trying to understand what it was, and after looking around for a while he thought it was a fire. Finally. Colia, I guess, he thought, increasing his pace in order to get quickly to the source of light. Once on the shore to the bonfire he saw that he was on the other side, and it was not his camp, because in front of him there were two tents, 30 meters apart, and between them was a bonfire, with two guys and a girl sitting around it. That's great. Are you lost? One of them said to Roma. What? He answered. Come here, sit down, and rest. The other joined in. Where have you come from? Can't sleep? Asked the girl. Roman came over, sat down in silence, and, gathering his thoughts, began. How long have you been here? Yes, we just came this morning. Why? He was the first to say hello to Roman. Not the cultures nowadays, my name is Dasha. The girl started. Sorry, I'm Roman. Vajya. Introduced himself as the one who offered to join the fire. Anatoly. Answered the first one. You look exhausted. Did something happen? Daria asked. Roman did not even know where to start and how to explain this situation, and yet he asked the question. Have you noticed anything strange? Strange? You, for example. Vasily answered ironically, after which the whole company laughed. If I tell them, they won't believe me, and if so? Roman began to think, as his thoughts were suddenly interrupted by Anatoly. Well, what are you thinking about? Vodka? Pour it. I'll tell you everything. Said Roman. Tell me what? Pouring vodka into a metal mug, Talia asked. Well, like this. So lie, thought Roman, taking a shot of vodka. We are not alone on the island. Well, of course not alone. You're here. Vasily started joking again. There's a serial killer on the island. Last night he cut up my friends while they were asleep, and I woke up just in time to dash through the forest. He was chasing me. Barely got away. Are you kidding me? Daria asked, Daria frightened. I'm as serious as I've ever been. Do you have any weapons or anything? Yes, I have an air gun to shoot at cans. Here, good. Roman said happily from the fact that he was believed. Shit. Where's Oksana? Anatoly asked. I think she went to the bathroom. Fearing for her friend, Daria answered in a trembling voice. Oksana! Oksana! Anatoly started shouting at the top of his voice. What are you shouting for? Shouted back the girl, coming out of the woods. Roma, though he was exhausted, could fully see her and admire her from head to toe. He immediately liked her, a girl slender, with blonde hair gathered into a ponytail, dressed in a turquoise shirt, polo, red shorts, and a cap of the same color. She was holding a pink backpack and was removing something from it. There's a maniac in the woods, said Vasily. Oh, what nonsense is that? She answered. Yes, there's a witness. Pointing at Roma, answered Daria. Okay, maniac is not a maniac, but you have to sleep. This smoke makes my head hurt. I'm going to my tent. After these words, Oksana went to bed. Daria, you go too, and we men need to talk. Okay? Said Anatoly. Apparently he was not the formal leader of this company, as it seemed to Roman, and Vasia. Vasia was the soul of it, a humorous guy. Well, I was going to bed anyway. After these words, and Daria went to the other, opposite tent. Apparently it's couples, thought Roma. Come on, honey, I'll join you. Vasily said with a kiss on Daria's lips. There, all the dots and dots, Roma realized who was with whom, although he didn't really care. As soon as the girls left the men's room, the guys started a dialogue. Roma told the whole story from the beginning, what happened to the guys, but reduced it to one day and removed the mystique, adding a couple more villains, saying that they do not act alone, that there are several of them. The guys swallowed it all, and after a brief meeting it was decided that they would be on duty at night. Roma was sent to bed, having previously moved Daria to Oksana, and then Vasily joined him as well. Anatoly was the first to get up for duty. Roman slept soundly. Finally he was able to get a good night's sleep for these days. He dreamed of having a wonderful breakfast at home with his friends, telling about a terrible dream in which there was an island with all kinds of creatures. The dream was interrupted by Vasily. Roma! Roma! They were here. Who? What happened? Roman asked in surprise, poking his head out of the tent. How so? My Dasheka! Almost sobbing, beating in hysterics Vasily. Roman came to his senses and climbed out of the tent. It was already dawning outside, soon to be dawn. The fire was not burning, not even smoldering embers, and Anatoly was sitting with his back against a tree, holding his severed head in his hands, with an air gun sticking out of his mouth. The girl's tent had been ripped open from the inside, as if it had been clawed open by a second exit. Inside, there were signs of a struggle, all the walls were stained with blood, the sleeping bags were tattered, as if they had been torn apart by some rabid dog. This picture was quite familiar to Roman. From the new exit of the tent to the woods stretched a trail of blood. Obviously something had dragged Oksana and Daria's corpses deep into the island. What do we do now? At least swim out, Roman began to think.